Martell Holt used to be the name everyone talked about when it came to love and marriage, Huntsville. In the beginning, he was everywhere. He had the charm, the look, the drama, and the storyline. You couldn't talk about the show without talking about Martell. When he walked into a scene, it felt like the whole show revolved around him. He had the energy, the presence, and whether people loved him or hated him, they watched him. But now, things have changed. If you blink, you might miss him. His spark is gone, and not just a little, it's completely faded. People have started noticing, and not just a few fans either. The conversation around Martell has shifted in a big way. It's no longer about what he's doing next or how he's stirring the pot. Now, people are wondering what happened to him. Where did the man who used to dominate the screen go? Why does it feel like he's completely vanished from the show and the public eye? One major red flag is his absence on social media. These days, his accounts are quiet. No posts, no stories, no excitement. While the rest of the cast is out doing interviews, attending events, showing behind-the-scenes moments, and keeping fans interested, Martell is silent. It's like he packed up and left without saying goodbye. People expect reality stars to stay active, especially during a new season, but Martell has gone completely off the radar. It gets even more obvious when you look at the show's latest promotional materials. When OWN dropped the cast photos and promo trailers for the new season, fans quickly noticed that Martell wasn't front and center. In fact, he wasn't really there at all. Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy, and others were all spotlighted. But Martell? He got the background treatment. That's not something you do by accident. That's a decision, a clear sign that OWN is moving in a new direction. It's even more shocking when you think about how hard OWN is now pushing cast members like Destiny, someone who used to be more in the background. Now, she's in interviews, she's teasing storylines, and she's getting more attention than Martell. That tells you something. OWN is investing in new energy. They're looking for real stories and real growth. And Martell? He's not bringing that anymore. This didn't happen overnight. Martell's fall from the spotlight has been coming for a while. In the early seasons, he played the game well. He was always in the middle of something, whether it was relationship issues, business drama, or just stirring up emotions. He knew how to create TV moments. But the problem was that most of those moments were built on chaos. Over time, fans got tired of the same thing. The cheating, the lying, the manipulation, it started to wear thin. The biggest shift happened when his relationship with Melody ended. That was the turning point. Melody wasn't just his wife, she was the real star. Their relationship gave the show its emotional core. Their fights, their breakdowns, their moments of hope. Martell tried to keep himself relevant by dragging more people into the drama. One example was trying to bring Ariane into the storyline, reportedly pitching her as a misunderstood woman with a different side of the story. But OWN wasn't buying it. They didn't want to rehash old chaos. They wanted something new. Martell didn't have it. The fans started calling it out, too. They noticed how Martell's charm had turned into arrogance. They saw the way he tried to shift blame and play the victim. Instead of growing from his past mistakes, he kept repeating the same patterns. And fans weren't here for it anymore. They started leaving comments on his posts, calling him out and asking where the growth was. The love turned into disappointment, and the disappointment turned into disinterest. Meanwhile, Melody has been doing the complete opposite. She didn't chase attention. She didn't try to start unnecessary drama. Instead, she focused on her business, her kids, and her peace. And the audience noticed. She showed strength, growth, and resilience. Her glow-up didn't come from shade, it came from healing. And that's what fans connected with. While Martell was trying to stay relevant by stirring the pot, Melody was leveling up. OWN saw this, and they adjusted the focus of the show. The cameras shifted away from Martell. The attention went to people like Tisha and Marceau, who are now thriving in the spotlight. They're doing interviews, attending watch parties, and showing viewers a new side of their lives. Kimmy, too, is opening up about her struggles and showing vulnerability in a way that earns respect. Destiny is stepping into her own space, bringing new energy to the show. These are the kinds of stories viewers want to see, but Martell is stuck. He keeps reaching into the past, reposting old clips and trying to remind people of when he was on top. He's inserting himself into scenes, bringing up storylines that no longer matter, like the drama over his wedding ring. None of it is landing. It doesn't feel fresh or interesting. It feels desperate. There's no clear character arc anymore. No journey. Just someone trying to hold on to something that's already gone. He's not offering anything new. There's no evolution, no sign of personal growth. Just the same old tricks, played one too many times. And both the audience and the network have moved on. What makes reality TV work is not just the mess, it's the growth that comes after the mess. People want to see real change, real emotion, and real stories. Martell isn't giving any of that right now. He's stuck in reruns, while the rest of the cast is moving forward. Even his fellow cast members seem to be distancing themselves. You can tell by the way they interact or don't interact with him. Nobody is fighting him for screen time anymore. Nobody is feeding into his drama. It's like they've already written him out, even if the network hasn't made it official. That's the real sting, not just being pushed to the background, but watching everyone else thrive. Watching Melody shine. Seeing old friends succeed. And knowing you're the only one still fighting a battle that's already over. It's painful, and it's public. The question now is, can Martell come back? Not just to the show, but to himself. Can he let go of the need to always control the narrative? Can he stop trying to force storylines and start doing the real work, the kind of work that involves reflection, humility, and change? Because at this point, he's not the villain anymore. But he's not the hero either. He's just there. And in reality TV, being forgettable is worse than being hated. At least villains get talked about. Martell's becoming a ghost. There was a time when he had everything. A beautiful family, a loyal fan base, and a strong presence on one of the biggest reality shows in its category. But instead of using that as a foundation to grow, he chose to chase chaos. And now, all of it is slipping away. You can tell Martell is still trying to spin the narrative. Posting quotes, making cryptic Instagram stories, throwing light jabs at Melody or other cast members. But fans aren't falling for it. They've been watching for years. They've seen the patterns. And they're tired. The saddest part is that this could have been a different story. If Martell had shown growth, taken accountability, and worked on himself, truly worked, not just performed for the cameras, he could have had a powerful comeback story. But instead, he chased attention, not redemption. And now, the audience has outgrown him. They've watched Melody rebuild her life and do it with grace. They've seen her stay calm, focused, and strong. That's what wins in the end. Not the noise. Not the mess. But the calm after the storm. OWN hasn't said much officially, but their actions speak louder than words. They're putting the spotlight on cast members who are bringing something real to the table. Not just arguments, but evolution. Not just chaos, but connection. So what now for Martell? He's at a turning point. He can either keep trying to get attention with the same tired tricks, or he can finally look inward. Do the work. Take a step back and figure out who he wants to be, not just on camera, but in real life, because right now, the audience isn't interested in watching someone stuck in the past. They want stories of growth. They want truth. They want something that feels real. And Martell, as it stands, isn't giving that. If he continues on the same path, the future is clear. Less screen time. Fewer storylines. And eventually, no presence at all. He'll be remembered not as the main character, but as someone who couldn't adapt. Someone who got left behind, but it doesn't have to end that way. If he truly chooses to grow, there's still time to change the story. Not for ratings, not for social media, but for himself. That's what fans want to see now, not more drama, but more depth. Not more chaos, but more clarity, because the crown Martell once wore didn't fall off. It was taken. Not by someone louder or messier, but by someone who healed and moved on. And that's the plot twist Martell never saw coming.